When I first heard of real estate investing techniques like wholesaling, fix and flip, buy and hold, and creative finance, I first thought that it looked easy. And then I thought that, how old do you have to be to start doing this? So when I found out that there's no age requirement for real estate investing, that made me excited. But there are a few things that you have to do if you're going to start, say real estate investing at 10 years old or under 18 years old versus over 18 years old. So today I'm going to go ahead and unpack what you have to do if you want to start real estate investing, different techniques like wholesaling, buy and hold, fix and flip, and creative finance. I'll let you know how old you have to be to start those, processes, which is, as young as 10 years old, but also what do you have to do to protect yourself. So the first thing you need to know when you're real estate wholesaling, you can wholesale at any age because you can get someone to sign for you. So if you got a parent to sign for you or somebody over 18 years old that you trust, then you can get them to sign as far as buying the property. You can get them to do that for you. So what I would recommend to just protect yourself, the most, if you don't have somebody that you trust, like your parents or, maybe a cousin or, somebody that you really, really trust. So if you have somebody that you really trust, then okay. But if you don't, then, maybe have since you can't legally sign documents yourself, maybe have a LLC made. So have an LLC made with you and whoever you plan on signing, with. So if it's you and somebody else, say your friend that's over 18 years old, have an LLC made. And then, maybe get your parents to sign on behalf of the LLC, because if you have a good relationship with your parents, then, they'll most likely you won't have to worry about them, screwing you over the deal versus you working with somebody out in the field as far as working with different partners. As versus getting them to buy it for you, maybe get your parent to go in half on whatever the LLC and, maybe have them be a signature. So somebody that can sign on behalf of the LLC, being that other person, whoever that other person is, get them the signature to sign on behalf of the LLC that you and your parent have that LLC. If that makes sense for you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. All right, another thing that you can do as far as real estate investing techniques is fix and flip and buy and hold. Now, straight to the point, guys, money trumps all. So money is green, money doesn't have an age unless it's, really old. But if it's not really old, then money don't have an age. With that being said, you can invest at any age. You will need the same thing as far as a parent signature or a legal guardian signature or somebody over 18. You'll need their signature because you want to be, buying and holding. But if you're going to be, going all the way as far as if you're going to get loans and things like that, then, that's kind of complicating it a bit as far as with the buy and hold and fix and flip. So what I would recommend, if you're under 18, I wouldn't recommend starting with that. Like, you can build your way up to that, but something that'll give you great practice for that is creative financing. Because with creative finance, instead of you borrowing money from a private money lender or from the bank, you're using the seller as the bank. So you can still wholesale the property per se. So you can go through that same, technique that I just showed you as far as having your parent be in the LLC and then have the partner, whoever that partner is that you're working with that's over 18 years old, make them, somebody who can sign on behalf of the LLC along with your parent, but that way you protect yourself. So the same thing that you can do when you are dealing with creative financing, because when you're dealing with the creative financing techniques, you're dealing directly with the owner instead of the bank. So you will, most likely have a renter in place or somebody will be in place that's, got that property cash flowing. You're getting X amount of money per month, however much it is. So that being said, guys, what you want to do is simply, do the creative financing technique. You get them under, contract for however long time, whatever the payoff is. But this way you can either fix up the property, right? So you can do a fix and flip with the property instead of you having to go and do, use other people's money or use the bank and borrow money or use a private money lender. Instead of using those techniques, you would just use the actual land contract, which is just all on paper. Oftentimes you don't need to put down a deposit, so you can still fix and flip it. So you'll fix the property up and you'll flip it before the land contract expires. And remember, land contracts are typically between 3 to 5 years, but sometimes you can get it, over that period of time as well, but typically about 3 to 5 years. But that being said, guys, this is easier for you because if you say wanted to, do a buy and hold strategy, what you would do is fix up the property and then you can refinance it. So if you have the property at, say $50,000 of where you're purchasing it from your seller from over the course of like 3 or 4, years, then you will go ahead and refinance it in that second year after you put however much money into it. And let's say now it's worth $100,000. So you can pay your seller off and then you'll get, however much, which is about, 85% of the $100,000. And you'll get about $85,000, pay them off, and you'll have about $35,000 cash to do another BRRRR method with or something like that. But that way you are not dealing with the banks, right? Because you're under 18 and you're getting this experience already, but you're not having to deal with the banks, which is going to complicate it even more. So really hone into creative financing if you're under 18 years old and you're starting, and also wholesaling real estate. My biggest, advice to you guys, if I was under 18, what I would have done, because you got to realize it's a fine line. Yes, your parents, they may not mind signing their name on the line for you, which could be simpler than actually having them get an LLC, depending on who that person is. But at the same time, if you're going to say establish a relationship with somebody, right? Maybe you have a mentor, maybe you have somebody that's showing you the ropes in wholesaling real estate. So you trust this person, right? You trust them enough to know that they're showing you the ropes, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're covered because you're under 18 years old. So if they're signing their name on the line and doing everything and you don't have any, say, because the thing that people will do, guys, they'll tell you the reason why you have to let them sign instead of you signing is because you don't have an LLC. So they'll say, since I have an LLC, I'll be able to protect us against the seller and things like that, which is true. But at the same time, you want to make sure you cover yourself, or not even cover yourself, but just make sure that you give that relationship time to develop to where you can really trust this person enough, versus being, 16 years old. Maybe you're somebody 16 just starting to drive, you're hearing about real estate, you're driving for dollars, you're doing everything you want to do, you're supposed to do, yet you have to lean fully on someone else to sign it, get it sold, speak to the title company, get your money. All of that will happen if you just lean on somebody else versus you having your parents involved. If you have your parent involved enough just so where they're on the LLC name, then they don't even have to, talk to the title company on behalf of you or do any of that. They can just have that person, the same person that you trust that's in the real estate investing business, that same person that you trust, they can have that person speak to the title company on behalf of the LLC. So instead of them just speaking on behalf of them and you speaking on behalf of you, they'll speak on behalf of the whole LLC, and then the LLC will get paid, and then there's already, an operating agreement in your LLC to where it'll state that each partner, gets 50-50 of all profits and expenses. So that's what you want to set up, guys. That way you protect your own interests and you get started wholesaling real estate investing on your journey of success under 18 years old. Something that, looking back, if I knew about this, trust and believe I would have been on this journey even when I was playing football. I definitely believe it's important for you because it's financial literacy, and it's also, you can do this. There's people that made fortunes from doing it. There's people that's still doing it, that's 80 plus. You can always do it is what I'm getting at. So just learn the techniques. There's levels to real estate investing. Wholesaling is a great one to start off, and go ahead and, click the link in the description. I'll have it for you guys, or maybe at this video, how to get your first wholesale deal in 10 days. Maybe go ahead and click that link right up there. As long as you have your heart in each step, you're already a success. As always, get to stepping.